Hi YouTube, it's Lena and I'm here today with a declutter. So this time I'm working on my smaller eyeshadow palettes, and by that I mean everything between 2 shades and 7 shades. I do think I have one in here that's 8 shades, but because it's so small I keep it with my smaller stuff. But yeah, so I did a count and I have, what was it, 76 small eyeshadow palettes. I definitely don't need that many. So hang with me and we'll see how many I declutter. Hello. Look guys, I actually have, come on, focus. I actually have like nice nails this time. Isn't that great? Anyways, I figure we'll start with this set. It's kind of all my weird shaped ones that don't fit in anything. First is my Urban Decay 4 Shadow Thingamabob. Let's see. So we have Midnight Cowboy Rides Again. We have Midnight Cowboy, which I got as a birthday present from Ulta like 2 years ago. We have, what are you called? Literally looked at these like yesterday. We have a full size of Lounge that I got in a like a Sephora favorites kit, and then we have Tonic, which these aren't going anywhere, but yeah, that is, I keep this with my small eyeshadow palettes because, well, it's technically a 4-pan palette, so yeah. Lainey and her brother actually picked this out for me. Zany Lainey is who I'm talking about. But when we did a video where Marshall picked my makeup and then I picked her makeup, but this is what they picked out for me. It is the Lorac Venice Beach palette. I am seriously about to strangle my fucking camera. Come on. Get your shit together. There we go. So I'm keeping this, but I will show it to you. But it's got these 4 shades right here, and what I think were supposed to be like a highlight and bronzer, which I believe I did use it for those, but I do really like this, so I will be hanging on to it. Next we have my Patrick Star Quad from MAC. This is definitely not going anywhere. This is the Miso Fleek set. Should probably declutter something soon. This is a freebie that I got from Ulta, but I actually really like it. Like, I really like these cooler tones and these blue shades down here, so I will be hanging on to this. Oh, Hannah sent this to me. It's a Models Prefer Quad. Unfortunately, it busted in transit, so I salvaged what I could. But it's just this little neutral quad that I do like, so I'll be hanging on to that. You know what? Here's 2 that I will be decluttering. These are 2 of the NYX Love in Paris palettes. Even though these are 9 pans, which I normally keep with my bigger palettes, I kept these in here for some reason. As a matter of fact, I actually totally thought I lost them. But I never use these. I never really want to use these. You can't even buy these from Ulta anymore, but you can buy them on the NYX website, I believe. Like, I don't even think I've used this. Like, this has probably been swatched, but I don't think I've ever actually used it. This one I know I've used, though, and it is nice, but I have these colors in other palettes, and palettes where I know where they are. So, and unless you're talking about specific NYX palettes, a lot of their eyeshadow formulas aren't that great. Like, the prismatic shadows are fantastic, and some of their bigger palettes have been nice, but these were not necessarily the case. I will be letting these go. Good, we decluttered something. Something else that's sticking around though is this Milani, what are these called? The Everyday Eyes eyeshadow collection in Vital Brights. I know they make bigger palettes now, but they still sell these. I had to order this one online because like nobody carries it in store. But I mean, it's the bright one. They probably assume that nobody's gonna want to buy it. But I really like this. This is actually a really good eyeshadow formula. So, hanging on to that. Here we have some Wet n Wild 6 pans that I am hanging on to. This one is an older one in Pride, but I do really like the shades. And here we have Vegan Culture and Thrift Store Chic. Like, I I really like the Wet n Wild formula in general. Both the old one and the new one have been really good so far, so I see no reason to declutter these. I don't know if I'm going to necessarily do it with these in particular, but I have a lot of 3 pans from the old formula that I'm probably going to depot and make like a big palette out of, like I did with a bunch of my other 3-pan ones. So yeah, but these are staying. I don't know how well these depot though. The 3 pans depot fairly easily though. Like sometimes they break, but most of the time they stay together pretty well. Speaking of 3 pans, here I have 4 of them. That's not all I have, I promise. These are just 4 that happen to be in here because I needed something to make it so that these weren't flopping everywhere. But these 2 I want to hang on to. This is Silent Film Era and Gray Matters. Grays Matter, my bad. Because these 2 have some at least relatively unique shadows to my collection. These 2, however, I think I bought these when they were discontinuing the 3-pan line. It's Walking on Eggshells and Silent Treatment. I know I can get these in the 4-pan formula. And I know somebody that I follow online just finished one of these, and I was going to see if they wanted it before I completely decluttered it. Like, well, I'm going to declutter it no matter what, but before I like pass it on in the makeup swap box that I'm doing soon, I was going to see if they wanted it. But I have to A, figure out who it was, and B, figure out which one of these it was. I know it was one of them though. But these are both really good, like neutral everyday eyes, and that now they both come with a transition shade as well. So yeah, but I'm going to declutter both of these because I have these a million times over, and if I do start really wanting them, I can get the 4-pan version. I know that this shade in the 4-pan version is a little different. You're getting a glare. Here's what it really looks like. I know that like this shade is apparently a little bit different in the 4-pan version, but I'm sure it's still fine. Like this one I know I bought when they were decluttering. Not decluttering, but discontinuing them. I'm decluttering, they discontinue. Let's see, here we have one of the L'Oreal Hip Duos. As you can see, I've never used it. So I think I'm actually gonna let this go because I really like these, but they're old. So, I mean, I think I've swatched it and that's about it. Can you even see what color that is? I hope you can. Yeah, I'm gonna let that go. Here is a e.l.f. Eyeshadow Quad in Party Purple. I think I'm gonna let this go too. I know I have these shades and a million other things, even though they're really pretty. I'm also gonna let this go because I never use it. It is an LA Colors eyeshadow, not quad. I'm trying to say quad, but it's actually like a little palette. These shades actually are pretty pigmented, especially because this was $1 at the Dollar Tree, which I've had to stop buying makeup from the Dollar Tree because I have so much makeup that I never use the stuff that I buy, even though quite honestly it's still pretty decent. So if you're looking for some what's it called, colorful shades, and you're willing to like pack them on a little bit, these are actually really good, and well, they're $1, so it's not like you're using up a lot of money. Here is an Avon Quad that I actually really do like, so I will be hanging on to it. I don't necessarily know if the colors go together, but I do like this color in particular. I really like, so I will be hanging on to that. And here we have all of my old Wet n Wild Fergie stuff. Like I have like 5 of these because I really loved these though. Like whenever there was a limited edition set, I bought them. Thing is, I'm still really reluctant to get rid of them, even though they don't make them anymore. They stopped working with Fergie, so they discontinued all of her stuff. And they didn't keep anything resembling these around. So I should probably at least let go of one of them. Which one though? I think I'll let go of this one actually, because it's really dark, which I actually like really dark, really glittery shades, and they are pigmented. Can you see that? But like, you don't see enough of the color. So yeah, I'll let this one go. I actually did bring makeup wipes over here this time, so I can wipe my finger at least. But I think I'm gonna hold on to the rest of them though. I remember liking all the rest of them a lot. So now that we've got that set decluttered, let's see what it looks like. I declutter a lot. more out of that than I necessarily thought I would. Like, I knew I was going to let the NYX and the LA Colors one go, and I knew I was going to let the smaller Wet n Wild palettes go. But like, everything else is kind of a surprise, honestly. Putting the Wet n Wild ones back in here, but I'm actually going to try and depot them, but this is what it looks like now. Let me see if I can back out a little bit so you can see a little better. Yep, all flopped over, but this is what it looks like now. I hope you can get at least some visual representation of that. It's much more empty. So far we have decluttered 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've decluttered 8 things. And now we have the bag of everything else. Because I didn't want to bring my like little holders and stuff in here. And honestly, they were overflowing, and that's why I needed to do this. So I'm just gonna pull all this stuff out and we're gonna go through it. Let's go over my Wet n Wilds first. I'm basically just showing you what they are because I'm not getting rid of them. I love my Wet n Wilds. Here is my stack of 3 and 4 pan stuff. I also have the newer astrology collection that I don't have out here because they're with my new stuff to use. But I have all 4 of those as well. But they would actually go with this stuff because they only have like 6 eyeshadows in them. And I have no idea how I would depot those because they're packaged completely differently from everything else. Whatever. Okay, so these were from the, I want to say spring collection in 2017? I think so, but I did really enjoy them, so I'm gonna keep them. Like I said, all of my 3 pans, at least, I'm gonna depot, so I'm actually gonna stick all of them together in one pile. No, wait, these are the ones I'm decluttering. Here are the ones that I'm holding on to. Here are 2 old, here's an old 3-pan one that you cannot get anymore. Like, they didn't carry it over into the new line or anything. It is on Cloud 9. It's the kind of blue one, but I'm holding on to it. And here we have 2 from a while ago, actually, but it is To Muse and Carouse and Hard Being the It Girl. So, yeah. Honestly, I should probably look through my other one and see if I have all of these shades covered, so. I don't have that with me. I'll need to go get that. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Like, as I was thinking about it, I was like, I should probably get my other, like, made palette, which I literally made this Z palette out of a DVD case. And yep, that orange is a little broken down there, but I can fix it. But I should honestly look through these and see, do I have these shades? Which, it's already looking like I have at least this one pretty well covered because that blue is really similar to that blue. Like, they're not exact, obviously, but they're close. Let's see, this brow bone is brow bone, but it's looking pretty similar to that one. And the eyelid versus that brow bone are really similar. So I'm actually going to declutter this. Let's look at this one. Okay, those blues are really similar. I don't have that though. I don't want to depot it just for one shade though. I know I have peachy shades elsewhere, so I'm going to go ahead and let that go too. What about you? Like, obviously I have the brown a million times over. They stick a brown crease shade in almost every palette. We're not even paying attention to that. But I don't really have the other 2 blue shades in these, so I will hang on to that. And going back over these, I know these aren't in here, so I'm not even worried about those. But that's 2 more that I really wasn't thinking about decluttering until I thought about it. And these all have like more shimmery finishes. And honestly, there's not too much overlap in there anyway, so, So I'll still hang on to these as well. But that's 2 more that I can declutter that I wasn't necessarily going to declutter otherwise. So, yep. Okay, here's one stack that I know I can get rid of, but I will talk about them for a moment. They are actually really good. But these are the LA Color Trios. They're all named after flowers. I believe these are still available, but we have Magnolia, which is gorgeous. Here we have Orchid. Here we have Iris. And here we have Water Lily. Now, these are 4 years old, so I bought these right after the house fire, so they're honestly going on 5 years old at this point. But I never get to use these because I tend to go for bigger palettes when I'm looking for my colored eyeshadows. But once again, if you want really cheap, colorful eyeshadows, I will swatch one of these for you. If you like, if you don't want to spend a lot on colorful eyeshadows, but you want some to add to your collection, these are really nice. I mean, you got to build them up a little bit, but they're really nice. That's the blue right there. I'm sure I used this for a purple look and then didn't incorporate the blue. They take a little bit of building up. And they're a little powdery, but you know, if you're not gonna wear a ton of color anyway, but you want like a couple to have around, this is a nice way to get some colorful eyeshadows for really cheap. Like, look at that peach. That's a pretty peach. This is the one I probably actually used the most. That actually looks a lot like the mint shade that I showed in my favorite shades in a palette video, if you can see that at all. A really nice green right there, and that is hella pigmented. So, like I said, if you want some super pigmented eyeshadows, if you want some colorful eyeshadows on the cheap, I actually do really recommend these if they're still available, which I'm almost positive they are. Mine are just getting on the old side, plus I never get to them because I have a lot of stuff. Apparently, I just spotted another one. Now, I know I bought later, so I can easily give, I really don't have to feel bad about giving this away. But this one is in Sunflower, which the name matches the shades very well, so. These 4 I will probably throw out, but this one I will pass on because I know that it's like 2 years younger than the rest. These I'm also probably just going to toss because they're about as old as those, but these are Rimmel Glam Eyes eyeshadows that I bought from the Dollar Tree. This one is in Royal Blue. I honestly only kept it for that shade in the middle, which is gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but I know I have that. And this one is in English Rose. The main thing that I didn't like about these and why I didn't use them too much is that these are a pain in the ass to use. Like, I know that they were trying to make, you know, the Union Jack and everything, but these little things right here, you can barely use them. You can really only use the big cross in the middle. So, yeah. Alright. 2 things that I know I'm keeping, but I very well might depot because this is really bulky packaging, are these little Smashbox duos that one of these I got from Sephora Play, and one of these came in a Sephora Play, but, you know, I swapped for it. But I do really like both of them. I don't know what palette this is from. It was one of the Cover Shot palettes, Golden Hour Eyeshadow Duo. There you go. And this one's from the Full Exposure palette, but this shimmer is awesome. So I'm gonna keep those, but I'm gonna see if I can depot them.